Vida back up to the podium for a special tribute this evening.
Wow, this is such a packed house. Marilyn, this was not like this when we started this conference. I'm so excited that we have such a community who supports women in technology these days. And it is in that spirit that I stand here and I ask for grace in advance as I go through our special tribute, because I am one of those women who sat between the trailblazers and the rising stars that we have today. And I am one of those women who sat at the knee of Paula Gulak back in the day, who said, "Vida, that voice of yours." I was like, "Yeah." And she was like, "Yeah, we need it." But it was Casey Quinlan who helped me to understand what my mission was actually going to be. And it's weird sitting in this place as a Generation X woman who was born between the trailblazers and who is sitting here hoping to shepherd the young ones today, to let you know this is an industry that you guys belong in, that you guys, remember that? That's where we got that from, that little culture, but that you girls belong in. And I sit here humbled because I had Nick tell me earlier, "Well, Vida, you're one of them." No, I'm not. I learned from the trailblazers, and I will never forget my introduction to Casey Quinlan wasn't a handshake. It was me being on stage, talking about my conviction that data needs to be handled with care, that we were actually handling the lives of humans commuted to bits and bytes so that we can better make decisions, that she became my amen corner. And she said from the crowd, "Amen, sister." And so we began a dialogue, and for the rest of that talk, I spoke to Casey. And I spoke to Casey because she also was well adorned with an entire QR code on her chest. I had never, not only were women who were vanguards in technology and corporations and business, and I was in consulting, and so we were definitely buckled up. So my tattoos are covered. But hers was emblazoned on her chest because she proudly proclaimed that technology should not be advanced at the expense of humanity. And it was her who I talked to afterwards. She didn't come shake my hand. I went and shook hers. And I thanked her for giving me someone in the audience who understood when I said, "We're going faster than the human experience can comprehend." And she said, "Yes, ma'am." And every talk I gave in Richmond after that day, she was at. And she always gave me someone to talk to, someone who was experiencing with the human population the effects of the work that we do every day. So much so that she was willing to tattoo it on her body. It was her who explained to me over and over again to speak with authenticity to the experience of technology, that regardless of what the advances that we were going to make sitting in these cubicles, sitting in these dark rooms, and later sitting around the table with executives, as we talked about what is the responsibility and the bottom line of getting this done right now, that we had to remember that there was a child on the other side of that. And as I have grown in my career, And as I embark on what I hope to be the twilight season of impact, I can't help but to think, man, I hope I go out like she did. And she is, and she will, and yet she won't. Casey Quinlan's spirit will never go anywhere. She is our neighbor. She is our conscience. She's our past, but she is also our legacy, and she is who we will become. I was reading through some of her, and I always read her stuff and listen to her stuff, but I think we collectively came out of COVID different people. And I think all of us are touched in a measure or manner of mental health and stability. I can't think of anyone in my life who isn't in some way touched by that. And I was talking with someone about the advances of AI and ChatGPT and healthcare. And there was a couple apps, if y'all want to play with them, come talk to me afterwards, that you should probably try. But we are deliberately trying to find a technological solution for mental well-being. And we are forgetting that it is in the energy of this moment. It is in the energy of this moment. You all, when I started talking about Casey, even the back of the room got quiet. Because there is an energy to humanity that connects us in a way that there is no technological solution that will ever emulate or duplicate that. And that is what Casey Quinlan fought on behalf of for the collective. And I am so thankful that she did it right here in Richmond. I am thankful that she did it right here in Richmond, because we, as the Richmond community, have an opportunity to really be vanguards in solutioning for humanity, because we have neighbors who have allowed us to recognize that we can't do it without one another, and we can't do it at the expense of one another. And that is why I've always, always been so proud to be part of the Richmond community, because I sat at the knees of Paula, and I sat at the knees of Casey, and they explained that no matter how much we did in finance and energy and manufacturing and defense, and let it be known, Virginia and Richmond, we are absolutely, positively leading the charge in all of those areas. But we did it with a spirit of humanity as embodied by Casey Quinlan. And so, well, I don't think my tribute necessarily did justice to her semi-scientific snark. I hope at least you know that on behalf of us at Rich Tech, on behalf of us at Women in Technology, who are still trying to figure out our way in this very male-dominated industry, that we meant it with a hug. We meant it with the wit of intelligence that lets us know it cannot be replaced by an AI widget, but can only be found in the very humane intelligence of brilliance, and that we have that here in Richmond. And I thank you on behalf of Rich, RVA. See how long back I go? Sorry.
Thanks so much, Vida. In case some of you in the room didn't know that Casey has entered hospice, and so let's give her a big hell yeah. Hell yeah. So, if anybody's ever been to an event with Casey, you always know she's in the back or in the front or wherever she is. You can hear her, right? And you can hear her say, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.